They're talking jobs, education, and the future of Detroit. It's the annual traditional meeting of the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce on Mackinac Island, and it's happening this week. 24 Hour News 8's political reporter Rick Albin is live on the island to talk about where the discussions are leading. Rick?
It's been pretty interesting here on day 2 at the Mackinac Conference because, as you say, of course, the future of Detroit is a large topic of conversation, not just what happens financially, but physically with the city if they go through bankruptcy, although that's pretty premature because that certainly hasn't happened yet. But the emergency manager conversation has been going on. There's been a lot of talk about Detroit, but there's also been talk about one Michigan. In other words, not an east-west divide, but seeing the state as one, which is kind of a new conversation here on the island for these conferences, something a lot of people are pointing to as a positive note. But there has been one underlying theme that was perhaps not expected, and that's education and the direction of education. There's been a broad, wide-ranging conversation about what should happen with education in the state of Michigan. The governor weighed in on that earlier today.
And the number statewide, if you use the ACT in all subjects to say who's college ready, the numbers climbed to 17%. That's a travesty. That's an improvement. It was 15-16%, and the other benchmark I use to give you a perspective on it, because sometimes people like to challenge that, to say, well, that can't be right. The other one I like to use is what percentage of kids going to community college have to take a remedial class before they're ready to take an entry-level class in community college? Because these are largely students that have a high school diploma. That percentage, if you look across Michigan, ranges about 60%. Need to take a remedial class before they're qualified to take an entry-level class. And to think they have a high school diploma. We need to do a better job.
So the conversation about education continues, and of course not everybody agrees exactly how that should go forward. A lot of talk about the EAA, that program that the governor has put in place to try to deal with education in a new way. By the way, we're working on a story, a larger story on the EAA that we'll be bringing you soon to tell you exactly what it is, what it's supposed to do, and what some critics think it's not doing. And coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk about another panel I'll be hosting tomorrow, talking about the financial future of the state of Michigan. It's going to be an interesting conversation. More on that coming up at 6. Now live on Mackinac Island, I'm Rick Albin, 24 Hour News 8.